There are a ton of reasons why you should get your own CRM for real estate, especially if you are currently using your brokers. When I initially got my license, I was using the broker CRM and it was not good. And if you are aware or familiar with Bouge, you know how bad that CRM was. It was clunky, there was a lot of issues with it, glitching and things like that. Well, so then I moved to another company and I started using their CRM and it was great. I loved it. I loved the automations, all the different tools that it had, and it was KV Core. Well, there was one day that I was working with a $1 million buyer. He was a doctor. He opted in on one of my videos and he was looking for homes and we were communicating back and forth. Well, I had decided to switch companies again because I just was not happy at that brokerage and the fees were getting expensive and, you know, all the things. Well, I ended up switching and I, like an idiot, didn't save all the information that we were communicating through that CRM. I did have his email and his information, but it was coming from a different email because, again, I was using my CRM email, the one that had the company's information. So I tried reaching out to him outside of that and I never heard a response. So I don't know if it went to spam or what happened, or maybe he thought I was a different person, but I never was able to connect with that buyer. Well, and because I like to torture myself, I ended up going on the assessor to see if he ever did buy that house. Well, I noticed that he did buy a house. I looked it up. I found the agent and it was an agent from that brokerage that I had left and left that guy's CRM in there. And I was just crushed and devastated. You know, I lost out on a potentially $30,000 commission. And so that was when I decided that I am going to have my own CRM, not going to rely on my brokerage. But then I started looking at the pricing and I thought, oh my God, this is insane. Who can afford this? I wasn't a high producing agent at the time. And so I went through all these different companies. And one of the biggest drawbacks for me was that you had to have all these plugins like Zapier to zap in leads from, say, Facebook or Instagram or wherever I was running ads or getting leads from. And I didn't really like that you had to have 10 different things, you know, to do one thing. Like if I'm going to run my business, I want it to all be one thing. I don't want to pay 10 different platforms and try and remember which is which and how much I'm paying for what and which one has a discount or whatever. So I stumbled upon this CRM that was not even for real estate agents. It was a SaaS program. And if you know what SaaS is, it's software as a service. And it was basically a platform for marketers. And this platform was being sold to other marketers. So it was basically a platform that was strictly for people in marketing. And I thought, how can I use this, because I love all the tools, to incorporate it into what I'm currently doing? It had everything that I needed. And we're going to walk through every single feature of this platform so you can kind of see, I use pretty much everything on there. The automations, we'll get all into that in this video. So I'm going to jump over to my computer and I'm going to show you exactly why I love High Level for my real estate CRM. So this is going to be the very first thing you see when you come in. It's the Launchpad. It's where you're going to get everything set up. 2-week free trial in the description below. And this is where you set up your Google page, your Google listing. Hopefully you have that. And then Facebook, and then you can connect WhatsApp here. And then you can also have your website. I use Agent Fire, link in the description if you want to do a free demo with them. I really like the way that Agent Fire has like their maps and things like that. But if you just want something basic and you're trying to save money, I didn't have my own branded website until actually a few years ago. And then Stripe is if you are going to be charging for courses or things like that. If you have agents that you train to, you want to sell a course, you can do all of that in High Level. So a really great thing I love about that. And then you can add team members. And so that is the Launchpad. We'll go over to the dashboard. Here is going to be all of your stats. So you have an opportunity status. And I'm not really good at this, but you can imagine how this will help your business. And this is, again, not for people that are just wanting to do 1 or 2 deals here and there. This is for someone who wants to scale up. And I think I've mentioned that, you know, I have 5 kids. I'm very busy. I want to automate all these things. and being able to see all of your stats and your opportunities and conversions, where your leads are coming from. Say like you do Facebook ads or maybe Instagram ads, and you want to see, well, where are our highest conversion? Where do we want to pour more of our ad spend and effort into? Do I want to do a ton of videos on Pinterest and blogs and things like that if I've never closed anything from that? No, I'm going to go target, my top 3 sources. And so that's how you're going to label everything and find out your conversions. And I mean, you can go really deep on this. Now the funnels, I have mine broken down to who I'm showing homes to actively. This would look a lot different if I actually put numbers in here, but sometimes I forget. I haven't really trained myself to the CRM, which I'm trying to get better at because I do want to track where my leads are coming from. And I do want to automate so that there's no lack of communication or that no one falls through the cracks. And so this is going to show all of my booked appointments, under contract, the 7-week nurture, your no-show appointments. That is all tracked inside of here. So the under contract spits out a whole automation. We'll get into that more later. So this is the stage distribution. I don't really use that, so I don't really know a whole lot about it. And then these are all the tasks. So once a client is now under contract, I'm going to go in and update the MLS. The nice thing is that you can have your TC or your assistant do this for you because they will get a notification, and then you can do manual actions if you want to. I don't use that one. Your lead source report, you can see where all the leads are coming from. They're booking your calendar. Maybe they are coming in through an ad on Facebook. You can find out those source reports and their total values, which is the commission that you would make. And then Google Analytics, I don't do any of those ads right now. But I do have the business profile, which it's going to show where people are searching from, total views, maps. They're looking for my office, and then website visits that I've had, which isn't a ton. But again, I haven't really been doing a ton on my website. But those are things that you can track. If you enjoy writing blogs and doing SEO stuff, then maybe that's a metric that you can track. And so this is kind of like a metrical type of thing for me. Another product that I don't have to buy somewhere else. It's right here in the CRM. And then sales efficiency, where you're spending your money. Are you getting a high ROI for it? Clicks, how much you're spending per lead, and if that money is actually going to provide you an ROI, because you don't want to keep spending money on places that aren't going to bring you sales and closings. All right, so that was just the dashboard. And you can customize it up here as well, or add different dashboards. Maybe you have a team. There's a lot of different customizations you can do. So we're going to head over to the conversations tab. And this actually will allow you to have AI take your calls. And I tried that for a while. I had AI taking my calls. One of my clients actually hung up and said he didn't want to talk to a robot. But sometimes frequently asked questions, they can ask, where's the best place to live? You can train your AI to answer all of these questions, maybe a lot of FAQs. You can train it to prompt the caller. Maybe you get a lot of spam calls and you're trying to weed out those people, and you don't feel tied to your phone as much. I know a lot of agents say that they answer every single call, but sometimes it's really frustrating when you're with a client and you take a call and it ends up being a spam bot or something, or someone that you weren't ready to talk to in that very moment. So you can have the AI filter those out for you and answer some questions. Snippets, when you're responding to your clients, those are kind of pre-made templates if you're constantly repeating yourself and you want to make sure that this person via email or text. I do pay for the text messages because I do think it's super valuable. I pay like not even $10 a month, because the cost per minute and text is like 0.001 of a penny. So it's very low cost, and you're not having to pay a ton of money up front because you might not use it all the time. So I do recommend getting the phone number. And then you have trigger links. Say like you have an event and you want to invite all of your clients to maybe the pumpkin patch. Maybe they clicked on the link, but they didn't follow through with signing up. You can set a trigger to go back to that person and say, hey, saw that you were interested in signing up with the pumpkin patch. Don't forget to opt in, or even for booking appointments, you can have them do that as well. And you can organize these into folders. And what I really like about this is that it records your conversations And so you can either download it and save it. Maybe I had a deal one time with an agent that was a lunatic, and I saved everything. I downloaded it all and I put it into a file and put it in my CTM and in a Google Drive. And I'm saving that because if anything were to ever come up in the future, I have all her nasty emails or voicemails. So, but it's also nice when you're driving or when you're with clients and you want to take a call, and it'll transcribe it for you so that you can read it and follow up later, and you're not having to re-ask questions. So I will talk to my clients while I'm driving, and it's pretty much essentially I use it for taking notes. So if they tell me that they want a 3-bedroom house in Rockrimmon, then I don't have to try and remember, are their kids' names? Sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, my daughter, she's 13 and she's into soccer. Like, those are all things that I can remember for later because I have it transcribed here. I have connected my Instagram, my TikTok to my conversations. And so they all come in here and I can keep track of all of my leads in this spot. And then obviously this is a spam call, but I'm just going to go ahead and mark this unread, and it's not going to go away. So like sometimes you read your messages and forget and it marks it as read. You have to click this button to mark it as read. All right. So from there, we're going to go to calendars, and I love this calendar. It's like having Calendly, but better because it's got everything in here. It sends automated emails and text messages. So if you have an appointment with a client tomorrow, you want to make sure that show up rate is 99.9%. And oftentimes they're not because they forgot. So this is a nice way. It sends a text reminder 30 minutes before. And I mean, you can set it. I have mine set up for 45 minutes. That way, if they cancel, I'm not on my way. You can change all those calendar settings. It's got everything in here, even my kids' sports. So they cannot book people that book me from online. They cannot book me when I am busy. So it'll read and I put everything in my calendar. I live by my calendar. So it'll put everything in there for you. You can customize it. There's all these different preferences. You can round robin it if you have a team or, whoever gets the call or the appointment first. So you can edit that calendar, edit your availability, name it. This is SEO optimized as well. Availability, connections, and even the clients can themselves invite. Maybe they want to invite a family member or a spouse to the meeting. They can do that on their end, but that's all customizable. You can do notifications. So this will tell you anytime an appointment is confirmed. It'll automatically put it in your calendar, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just so convenient. I don't know why more people aren't using the calendar. And then all of your contacts are housed here. There are lots of different bulk things that you can do. You can bulk email by tag. Say like you have a bunch of people that opted in from YouTube. I have an under contract timeline for people that want to know the flow of a contract in Colorado. So it automates the tag contract timeline. And when I want to send them an email, I just select all the people that were in that category that have the tag of contract timeline, and I can just send stuff to them. So that saves me so much time with trying to figure out and search up who is who. I have one for vendors. I have one for lenders, real estate agents. So grouping them by tags and this kind of thing saves you so much time when you're trying to do simple tasks and not have to, buy back your time basically. And then, so I'm not going to go into contacts because I don't want to have to show or hide or blur anything out. This video is unedited because for time's sake. But now we're going to head over to, in the contacts, you can actually see all the information there. You can automate conversations. You can put tasks in there, take notes in there. So say like you're at home and you're at your computer, you want to take a few notes. Maybe you want to send them flowers for, something. I don't know. There's so many different automations that can kick off. So that's going to be inside there as well. And if you want more information, just let me know. If you want to see more of that contacts part of it, for the sake of time and privacy, I'm just going to scroll through this one. Now we're going to go into the opportunities tab. This one I really like because you get a bird's eye view of what's going on in your life. Again, I wish I was better at this. I actually am showing more homes in this, but I don't have everybody on this list. But you can move these tiles. So like maybe from a new lead, now you're showing homes. maybe appointment was booked, but they were a no-show. So you drag them over here. So the 7-week nurture, someone opt into a relocation guide. I throw them in the 7, like relocation home buyers. And this one even tells you like this has a partial form filled out. So I can go in and see, well, how far did they get in the form? Maybe remind them to fill it out, reach it out, see if they have any questions. This one, you can put the opportunity value. So if your commission, what you're going to get paid. And then, once they're under contract, this will kick out those tasks that I mentioned earlier. And it also sends an email to my TC to let them know that we're under contract so that she can start preparing the file to get that going in compliance. Now we have an under contract seller, same thing, but sellers are a little different. We want to tell them to get their HOA ready, get those docs. You can build out an automation for everything, which I think is amazing because when you have a lot of kids like me and you're very busy, you don't want to be bogged down by admin stuff. So that's why I really like being able to automate. I'm a one-person show. I do everything by myself and I don't have a team to help me with all this stuff. So the more automated I can be, the more time I can spend with my family and with my husband and spending time with clients and not doing this admin junk. It's not junk. It's very important, but you know what I mean? It can get tedious sometimes. And then also keeping track of referrals. I want to make sure that people that I'm working with, that I'm communicating with them on a weekly basis and following up with, hey, how are things going? And then I also have one for ghosting. Like these are the people that reached out and acted like they wanted to work with me, but then sometimes things change. Maybe they didn't realize how much stuff was going to cost. And so they ghost me. And you can customize these pipelines. You can do bulk actions for some of this stuff. I customized mine because I want it very specific and tailored. There are templates that are already there, so you don't have to build this stuff out, but I like to have mine customized because I want it to be a little bit more personal. So now we're going to go over to the payment section. And this is where if you wanted to send out documents and contracts, this is really nice to have to be able to automate your buyer agency agreement, or maybe you're doing your touring agreement, because sometimes I don't really have time to sit there and whip up a contract. Like this will literally send it out for you. You just toggle to, you can even create a pipeline for it and then toggle when the tile moves to this section. I want to send out that buyer agreement, and it already puts everything in there, their signatures and their names. If their names are in the CRM, it does it. It's so crazy. So contracts, documents, if you want to send them a disclosure, and then orders, don't use that unless they want to order, I don't know, their pie. Maybe you do pies every year. Subscriptions, don't use that for this. Payment links. I do have a home buyer guide course that I do charge for because I feel like it's a lot of in-depth knowledge and they could really truly buy a house without a real estate agent and maybe save some money there. But that a lot of agents are not doing that. But then you have products here, your clients in real estate. There are some other ways that you can use this feature to make some side hustle money, which I don't know if I mentioned that you do get 3 of these accounts. So if you want to do recruiting, I have one for recruiting, and then I have one like an e-commerce business on the side, and I use that one as well. So I mean 3, so I pay for the whole year and it comes out to about $80 a month. You get 2 months free if you end up doing the whole year. Otherwise it's $99 a month. Like it's stupid to not do this. I can't believe how cheap it is to be able to have this full of a CRM. If you think about it, you pay for Calendly, you pay for MailChimp, all Constant Contact, all these things add up, and it's not all one local spot. So then there are coupons here. Maybe you want to do a free appraisal or something fun for your clients. Maybe run a promo and run ads to that, and they can use that coupon here. And then, yeah, so there's a million things. Like we're not going to go too deep because most people aren't going to do all this. But just so you know, it's there. AI agents, I had mentioned, this is where you're going to train the AI to talk to your clients or take calls for you. And the knowledge base is like, I write blogs and I put my blogs into the knowledge base so that it'll just take the blog and answer those questions. Like how much is the average home price in Colorado Springs? And it's going to spit that out. but I don't know if people are ready for that right now, for the AI situation. All right, so this is my favorite tab. It is the marketing tab. You have your social planner, and this thing will spit out a month's worth of content for you. Like I just did one on LinkedIn, and it scheduled all these for me so that I don't have to. I think it's pretty wild. And so you can do emails again. This is the email marketing. This is like your MailChimp. It'll show you all the stats as well. So it's not just, you can send emails. It's going to show you open rates. It's going to show you who's opening them, and workflows and campaigns and all kinds of stuff. So you've got templates here, so you don't have to, these are my templates that I've made, but you can also create new templates here, create from existing email marketing templates, campaigns, and it's going to break down when you do send an email, who actually opened it. So I sent it out to this many people, and that's a lot for skipped, but it's because I bought leads or bought emails. Don't ever buy emails. I still have to go through and delete them all. But just send a quick email. You can check out the statistics, who opened it. And then if someone opened it, then you can also send out a trigger to say, hey, I saw that, you might be interested in this. That way you're not wasting your time with people that don't want to be bothered. If they're not opening your emails, don't bother. And then snippets, again, these are quick emails and text messages that you can send that are templated. Countdown timers are really cool. If you're having an event for your clients, you can do a countdown, and you can embed these into your open, like this was an open house. And so it said, 5 days. I love these. Like it tells you, this one obviously expired, but it tells you how much time is left to that specific event. So it just gives the reader like a visual for how much time they have to sign up for whatever you've got going on. All right. So trigger links, again, we talked about that. Affiliates, if you want to have affiliates, I just used the high level affiliate, but if you were doing this on your own and you had a team, or maybe your downline and you wanted to build this out for them or share this, maybe they get affiliate, things like that, probably not going to use. Brand boards, you can customize your colors, your fonts, your brand voice, set the tone and style to make sure that your messaging is consistent across all the channels. This is kind of a more advanced thing. And then you have your ads manager. But let's go back to the social planner, because I just geek out on this. You can plan your content here, and you can even go here and have an approval. Say like you have a VA that you want to work with. They can post in here, and then they create the post, and then you just go in and you have to approve it, and then everything. So like the communication and the workflow just is so magical, because it helps with the communication where you're not constantly having to be in meetings and calls. Basically, you just go in there, approve it, and there's no messages, like you just do, right? I think that's pretty cool. And then comments, you can go through and review the comments. You can connect Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, Blue Sky, which is like a newer social media, Twitter wannabe type of thing. And then you can go and look at all of your statistics and your best performing post. You can go look at those. Number of posts, how you're doing. Ooh, my stuff's not doing too good right now. But now like I got to step up my social media game, because this is the number of impressions are really low and the reach is better. And then you can see your top performing posts, and then make more stuff like that. Total followers that you got, like this is just insane. So it's kind of like that Metricool, if you've heard of that platform, and all in one place. Okay. Social listening. I really like this tab because it'll show you like what's trending, the keywords that are trending, the Wikipedia page views of who's, what's going on here, and the breakout, the TikTok songs, the hashtags that are trending, popular songs for YouTube. Like this is really cool. And then your settings for all this stuff, connect all your pages. And then some of them expire after a certain amount of time. You can add watermarks. You can make categories for home buyers, home sellers, Notifications, you can control that here. You'll get notification like once you approve the post. When there is a request for post approval, if it's been rejected, obviously you want to know that too. If a post has failed, you do want an alert for that as well. So that's the marketing section. But wait, there's more. The automation is so cool. So if you've ever been on Instagram and you saw someone say comment guide to get my full guide to moving to Colorado Springs or wherever you are, that's where the magic happens, right here in the automation. So you create a workflow. And so these are all different workflows that I use. So we're going to go to, let's see, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And so listings, like if I have a listing and I want them to comment to get more information or to set up a showing, you say, this listing is available, blah, 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 comment heart sock for details or to book a tour. That way you don't have to be in there manually responding. You don't want to ignore people, but you're busy. You're out showing homes. You don't have time to sit there and be on Instagram, which is why I like this automation. So it'll respond to that comment. Someone who says heart sock, then it says, thank you for your comment. Just sent you a message. Check your DMs. So these, you can add new responses, and then it'll also like the comments. So once they comment, it'll like it for you, and then it'll send them a message, and then it'll go to, this is what the message will say. Here's the link to get more info and book a private tour. And then there's the link. So they can get more information there. So that is the automation for social media. And if you're running ads, it's huge because TikTok and Instagram, they all like that engagement. And you're going to get more impressions, people watching, because people are actually commenting and engaging with your content. So that helps a lot. And these other automations are different. These are where you build out the automations that were on the opportunities page that we looked at. Relocation home buyer survey. When someone opts in to this flow that I have, then it kicks off, like if someone opts in for the relocation guide, it will spit out like 2 months worth of emails. And that talks about all the different neighborhoods. And then within those automations, it has ChatGPT and AI to help you create those. So it's not like you're having to do it all on your own. It's going to help you. It's like a coach as well. So these are all the different campaigns. I mean, there's a lot. It can be overwhelming, but once you get it down, it's just like, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life? All right. So now we have sites. I really like this one too. This one I use a lot. I've got all of my funnels here. I've got my websites here. Like this is like having a link tree. I think this is it. Let's pull it up. So this is where I put all my links, right? So I have listings here. So I have 3 listings, and once you click on these listings, it goes to the URL to set a showing or look at more photos or get more information. This link is buy a house, goes to my website. Relocation guide goes to my landing page. Neighborhoods, all the different neighborhoods, my website. This is my home search app. If people want to download my app, that is on there. And then my blog, if they want to read my blog. This is that home buyer course. If an agent wants to join Real, I have that here. And then I have an Amazon shop here too. So these are just all of my links, and I do it right here inside of High Level. So you can also look up stats. If you're doing any sales, like everything is in here. And then let's see what else. So funnels, right? They're multi-step. Someone visits your landing page, they book an appointment, and then there's a third thank you page and tells them, visit our blog to learn more. And then there are stores here. I don't use any of this. You can do webinars. I mean, I do use a store, but not for real estate. You can look up your analytics. You can write blogs on here. You can put your WordPress website here. The client even can have a portal if you want to build something out for them. And then this is freaking awesome. The forms, and instead of using Google Forms to get information from your clients, I like to do a seller information intake form. So I'm sorry, my phone's ringing. Basically builds all these out. So if you're running an ad and someone wants to sell their home, you can actually have them answer all of these questions. Like you can say, do you have an HOA info? If this one is yes or no, then it can go to a section where they can actually upload or give you the information for the HOA. I know a lot of times that can be hard to get it HOA information, but when it's automated, they're sending out forms and, emails and follow-ups and all that. It just takes a lot of the grind, I guess, off of an already grinding business. So you can analyze them, view your submissions. Surveys is a really good one too. Like once sale is over, you can ask some questions. I use the survey for my relocation clients because it kind of filters out who really wants to buy a house and who just wants to waste my time. So I just ask them their first name and then what brings you to Colorado. And this is good because it weeds out the spammy people. Like I had one person show up to one of my meetings appointments and he was on his bed with his shirt unbuttoned. And I was like, this is not that kind of service. So I just like to ask these questions. If they don't want to answer them, maybe they're not serious about buying. Where are you from? You're reaching out because you're selling a home in these specific states. You're considering Colorado, you're looking for a rental. Now, if someone checks that box, you can have it automate to exclude them. They want to cut out realtors in the rental market. Fine, whatever. They pay you $50 to find a tenant for their rental. Well, that's just not worth the gas sometimes. So you can have it go to like maybe a referral partner where you do refer them to like Pink Realty here. Anytime someone wants a rental, I just send it to them or to Remax. And so you can have that automate there. And then are you first time buyer? No. Yes. Top priorities. And I keep it short. It's not super long, but I really like having this. And this can be embedded onto your website. You can ask for a ton of different things. So that is my survey for that. And then quizzes. I mean, how fun. You could do like a quiz for, are you ready to buy a house? And then all the questions are like, do you enjoy your freedom? Do you like someone else paying for all your maintenance? That's how you know if you should be a renter or not. So you can build a quiz out and run ads to those. Those are really cool. Chat widgets, QR codes, everything. Okay. Now, memberships is more for like, this is really great for if you have a team and you want to be able to train them instead of you having to train them. Make them watch these videos like this, and you can see on the back end how far they're getting in watching these videos. Have them watch the video and take your training course online. Make sure everyone's on the same page. No one can say, oh, I didn't know that. Well, you clicked submit. You took the course. So you can even give them a certificate. Create a client portal if you want. Create an agent portal. Communities, just like Facebook groups. And you can do that here. So I thought about doing a Colorado homebuyer one, but I ended up not. And then we're not going to worry about these too much. That's more of an advanced thing. Media storage, this is where all your stuff goes. All your pictures, pretty much all your pictures, PDFs. You can do, like my guides are in here. So that's where all that. Reputation is another really good one. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to get one of those services where they collect reviews for you. Last time I looked, it was $50 a month. So that alone is worth CRM. So you can see all your reviews. It collects it for you, but not only does it collect your reviews for you, it sends out requests to get them, but it also creates a post for the social medias. So LinkedIn, I have one on Google My Business. Whenever someone leaves a review, it just creates a post and an image with the text on screen of what they said, and then it posts it for you. And it also responds to the review. So if someone leaves a review on Google, for example, then it'll respond, thank you so much. And it'll do it in an SEO way. So it will say, thank you for recommending Iris Burton, Colorado Springs Realtor, and giving her a 5-star high review. We're really glad that you enjoy your new home purchase. So that, because, Google, when you're looking up reviews and searching up real estate agents, it'll give you because I've had people say, oh, they're friendly. She's very patient. So those are all keywords that Google could then use, and then you're more likely to show up in the search results. So, I mean,
I don't even know what else to say. So there's also widgets. Like I like to put my reviews, other reviews on there. And that's what that looks like. This is what my clients say. This is at the bottom of my landing page to work with me. So it's kind of like social proof on why they should work with me. Different templates that you could customize. And then your reporting. This is all the report. If you're really into tracking everything, they say what doesn't get measured doesn't grow, or whatever the saying is. I 100% agree, because you can track and pivot as needed from all of these reports. If you're not getting enough sales to cover your Facebook ads, well, quit doing Facebook ads. Some people will never know if it's a good ROI or not. They're spending $800 a month and not getting any sales from it. So, and then you can always add in other apps. So if there's an app that you want to use to integrate, like, ChatGPT for workflows, like I mentioned earlier, then you can always add Zoom for workflows. There's over 1,000 apps in here that you could, if you really like Calendly and you don't want to use the calendar in here, just import it in here. All right, MailChimp too. Okay, and ChatGPT down here. And that's pretty much the overview of Go High Level and why I think it's so awesome to use it for your real estate CRM. So I do have a 14-day free trial that you can use. And if you have any questions and you want a demo and you kind of can't understand, first of all, their customer service is amazing. But also if you kind of need more information and kind of dig into kind of how I'm using it, then you can book a free consultation with the link below. We'd love to help you get started on building out your CRM. Now, one thing I will say is that this is not for an agent that is going to just be doing 1 or 2 deals here and there. This is for someone who wants to be in production, high producing. You're getting a ton of leads and opt-ins on your website, and you want to be able to manage and kind of connect with each one and not let any of these leads and deals fall through the crack. If you are not comfortable with paying that, monthly payment, then you might just stick with what you have and what you already know. You don't have to use it. I just love that it's all in one. Everything is here. I don't have to go to different platforms, just so that I could scale my business in a way that's going to fit my lifestyle. Don't forget to leave a comment or your questions down below. And I'm trying to get better at posting more videos about this kind of thing. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.